This video is about Tuggemo, a piece of music for string quartet composed quite recently in 2017. The composer who wrote it is called Anna Meredith. Anna is a composer, producer and performer of both acoustic and electronic music. This piece, Tuggemo, is an example of that, combining a traditional string quartet with electronics. Your piece could be inspired by Tuggemo in a number of ways. For example, you might be inspired by the use of electronics and combining beats with the sound of the quartet. Or you might be inspired by some of the music itself, for example, a particular melody, rhythm or chord progression, and use snippets of those in new and interesting ways. You might be inspired by some of the ways Anna asked the musicians to play their instruments and create new music using these same techniques. Tuggemo is a one-movement piece around 5 minutes long. Let's have a listen to an extract. How does this music make you feel? What do you think of when you listen to it? Tuggemo is an Old English word for a swarm of birds or flies. Anna says in her program notes that this piece is all about swoops of direction and energy. And maybe that idea of movement is something that could inspire you when writing your piece. For example, how could you represent the flight of a bird or aeroplane using music? One unusual feature of Tuggemo is the use of lots and lots of glissandi. This is when the musicians slide from one note to the next, like this. In Tuggemo, Anna gives that sense of a swarm of birds or flies by having all the instruments playing glissandos at the same time. Some instruments are sliding down in pitch, while others are sliding up in pitch, giving this sense that the animals are all moving in different directions. Let me show you how this looks on a musical score, in case you'd like to use glissandos in your music. First of all, you have a note to tell the musicians where you want the glissandi to start. Then you have a second note where you want the top of that glissandi to be, for example, at the start of the next bar or 3 bars later. Then you draw a line from one note head to the next. Another musical idea I like in this piece is the use of a repetitive short motif, which I think in this case could be influenced by techno music. Take a listen to this in the cello part. There are 2 versions of this motif that Anna uses. The first, which has just 4 notes. And the second version of that, which adds 2 extra notes on the end. Anna alternates between the 2 versions with no fixed pattern, and that helps create a sense of not being sure where the beat is in the music and not being able to predict what is coming next. Another way Anna creates this idea of unpredictability and not being able to feel the beat is because of the way time signatures constantly change in the music. A time signature tells us how many beats there are in a bar. For example, 4/4 tells us that there are 4 quarter notes or crotchet beats in the bar. Take a look at this page of music taken from Tuggemo. It shows the time signature changing on every bar, making it extremely difficult to sense where the beat is in the music. Why do you think Anna would not want to have a regular beat in this piece? One final musical idea I noticed in this piece is the use of call and response. This is when one instrument or combination of instruments plays something which is immediately answered by another combination of instruments. You can hear an example of this where the violins play the call and the violas and cellos respond with the same rhythm but on different pitches. Call and response is a really useful music device that you could use in your pieces. I hope you've enjoyed learning more about Tuggemo. We're really looking forward to seeing what you compose.